They say Blackberry Winter brings a final chill, but here at the homestead, things are heating up. From the delicate bloom of Mother's Day roses to a Black Silkie taking on a massive task of hatching turkey eggs, life is bursting at the seams. Beyond our property, the world is changing, with headlines scrolling about cloud seeding and grocery aisles filled with synthetic, GMO-altered foods. The stakes for our health have never been higher. Today we're talking about why we choose the organic path to fight back against the autoimmune diseases and diabetes, and how our Survival Seeds 2026, including Tessie's Homestead Cottage Garden Blend seeds, are the ultimate insurance policy. Grab a tea, step into the garden, and let's dig in. Hey y'all, welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan. Today's episode 36 of Homestead Happenings, Beyond the Garden Gate. Is your food real? In an era of synthetic food, a garden is a revolutionary act. As the air and rain are being managed, our responsibility is to manage our own soil and health, and it becomes even more vital. In 2026, the Government Accountability Office, GAO, released a major report. You can look up GAO-26-108013 that explicitly outlines the agencies like NOAA are required to oversee and record these activities. In April of 2024, Governor Lee of Tennessee signed into law SB 26911 HB 2063, which became effective in July 2024. It was a historic move. Tennessee became the first state to explicitly ban the intentional injection of chemicals into the atmosphere to affect weather or sunlight. However, I have noticed on my own homestead, passing a law and enforcing it in the open skies are two very different things. While the law exists, it originally lacked a clear punishment or a dedicated task force to stop the planes in real time. In early 2025 and 2026, Tennessee lawmakers introduced follow-up bills like HB 1112 to add teeth to the ban, including a $100,000 fine per violation and classifying it as a Class A misdemeanor. We have the law on paper, but who is policing the pilots? When you see multiple planes in the air, too high to read the call numbers, and those trails crisscrossing above your gardens, it's a reminder that the state sovereignty is a constant battle. This is a hot topic because the federal government controls airspace via the FAA. Many argue that the state ban can't override federal flight paths or military federal research projects. Just because a state says no doesn't mean federal agencies have stopped. This is the ultimate reason we focus on our own 1.5 acre homestead, because we can't stop what is falling from the sky, but we can strengthen our soil to handle it. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. You remember that? Chicken Little may have been a little ahead of her time. I know many of you are looking up and asking the same thing as I am. Our Governor Lee signed the ban, yet the crisscross patterns are still there. It's a heavy reminder that we are in a season of transition, not just the weather, but in our rights. Whether it's what they are putting in the sky or what they are putting in our grocery store food, the message is the same. Self-reliance isn't just a lifestyle, it's a defense. While they seed the clouds, we are seeding the ground with our 2026 survival blend, because no matter what happens up there, we have to be able to feed our families down here. Here's 3 things to consider. The GAO acknowledged weather modifications, specifically cloud seeding, for precipitation and research into solar geoengineering is actively happening across multiple states. Number 2, the Oversight GAO report actually criticized the government for not keeping tight enough records, meaning we don't know exactly what's being sprayed into our atmosphere. Remember the climate warming hoax? They tell us the planet is in crisis to justify changing our food, but then they seed the clouds and alter the weather themselves. Who is really creating the crisis? The use of silver iodide and other arsenals to seed clouds, and what is it doing to our organic mulch and biology? While the government views it as drought mitigation, homesteaders like me often view it as interference with the natural Blackberry Winter and seasonal cycles that we rely on. My 3rd point, when you can't control the sky, you have to control the kitchen. Just as the weather is being synthesized, our food is being altered with GMOs and lab-made ingredients. For someone like myself that is dealing with autoimmune disease and diabetes, these small alterations in food and environment aren't small at all. They are triggers. 2026 isn't just about growing food. Survival seeds are about genetic integrity. Growing a Cottage Garden Blend not only brings beautiful flowers and herbs, it means the lineage of that plant hasn't been touched by a lab. You know, I was looking at the roses today and thinking about the rain. For years, people talked about cloud seeding like it was a conspiracy. But in 2026, the GAO finally released the reports that it is real, and it's happening, and the oversight is a messy thing. It makes me wonder if we can't even trust the rain to be natural anymore. How can we trust the food produced from a lab? That's why we went organic. When you're fighting autoimmune issues or diabetes, close enough isn't good enough. You need the real thing from the seed up. In Genesis 8:22, King James Version, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. God has given us the seeds, the plants, the fruits and vegetables, and the meat, that we would remain healthy. Man has tried to destroy all that God has made by playing God with a small g. The intention, I truly believe, is population control. There are some things you can watch for on food labels. The GMO label is now USDA, bioengineered, with a BE symbol. Potassium bromate, used to make bread fluffier. It's banned in Europe and the UK, but still pops up in US flour. It is a known carcinogen and nightmare for digestive health. Natural flavor mystery ingredients can contain dozens of synthetic chemicals and solvents that aren't required to be listed individually. This is synthetic sneak is many lab-grown, precision-fermented ingredients like synthetic vanilla or dairy proteins, and they are being labeled as natural because they are technically biological, even though they were made in a lab, not in a field. Lab-grown cell-cultured meat. 2026 brought new labeling laws, and you have to look closely for the terms like cell-cultured, lab-grown, or cultivated. These labeling tricks that some brands are trying to use are manufactured proteins or fabricated egg products. If the price seems too good to be true for a steak or chicken, check the fine print, usually near the product name. Our schedule is Monday and Friday long-form videos, Wednesday podcasts, and they all drop at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Once a month, I have a third Monday live stream. Also, be on the lookout for interactive videos, shorts, and community tab posts. I encourage you to take a walk around your property, get a plant identifier app, and start looking at those weeds. And start looking closer at the soil that you have. It's never too late to turn back to organic, real foods. We will leave the politicians and others to destroy our food and environment or to fix it. But we have that power in our hands already. I hope you have enjoyed our property tour today, and I hope I leave you with food for thought. I am reminded that every seed we touch or put into the soil is a quiet act of defiance. We are reclaiming our health through simple choices of using an organic garden, leaving the weeds, watching the bees do their thing, 1 square foot at a time. We've covered some heavy ground today, from aircrafts seeding clouds above our West Tennessee home to the synthetic altered food filling up the grocery aisles. It can feel overwhelming, but remember, you have the power to choose a different path. We choose organic to heal the autoimmune disease and diabetes, and we are seeing that healing reflected in the vibrancy of our garden and the health of our flocks. Don't let the Blackberry Winter or the headlines chill your spirit. Keep your bees safe. Keep your faith in the natural order that God created. Be on the lookout. Friday, I will be in the garden. Thanks for joining me for the Homestead Happenings. Be blessed and a blessing. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.